Okay, what we're going to start today is we're going to start our budgeting. We've already done our cash budgets, but we want to do everything to do with budgeting. We haven't done completed this year. So we're going to start off, first of all, it's section C, it's budgeting. Now remember, if it's section C in your exam, just get a different kind of marker, you're talking about 20% of your exam paper, and I want you to spend 30 minutes max on it. Okay, so just to link this in a little bit with your business, section C is all about planning and controlling your business. So it's all about, we know from our definition, if you were doing business, you would say these are two of the management activities. And it's the same here in accountancy. They're management activities. Planning is all about the future. So this particular section, we know management accountancy is about the future. So we're looking at the future and we're trying to control what's going to happen in the future. So budget. We're going to be talking about cash budgets, which we've did, flexible budgeting, which we're going to do, and we're doing production budgets for the next few weeks. So what is the budget? It's something that's in the short term, and that's another thing with management accountancy. We're generally looking at a short period of time. It's a financial plan, which means it's to do with money. It's a definite period of time. Budgets can usually be between 1 month, 2 months, up to a year, and it's for the future. So again, budget, it's short term, financial plan, it's a definite period of time, and it's for the future. Now, again, the theory in section C is going to probably be 10 to 15% of your question. So what's the advantages of a budget? So it helps you plan your performance. If you have a plan, like for your Leaving Cert, you would know how you're going to perform towards it. It helps staff be motivated. If staff know where they're meant to be in the next 3 months, 4 months time, it helps them to be motivated and to try to achieve their targets. And again, you'd use that in your business course. All the resources you have, because you know where you're going, you probably would use your time resource more efficiently, money will be used more efficiently, labour, raw materials. Number 4, now this is a really, really important one. Comparisons can be made. You can see, right, what did you budget for, say, in the month of May, and what actually happened in May. Okay, we're going to look at that now again in another minute, the difference between these. So you can make comparisons. You can see, are you staying on your road, the roadmap that you have actually prepared, or have you deviated from your roadmap? Again, with a budget, areas of responsibilities are defined, and because people know what they're in charge of, it improves the efficiency. So if I know that I'm in charge of, say, Leaving Cert accountancy, I know that I'm responsible for how the students achieve their grades in accountancy. Okay, variance. I want you to watch this. It comes up a lot in the theory. So a variance, if I ask you what is a variance in English, you'd say variance is when something varies or is different. Same here. It occurs when your budgeted is different to your actual. So we're using that word, different. Now, an adverse variance. This is what comes up in the exam. They'll ask you, adverse, we know is not something that we like. So a variance again is something that's different. An adverse is something we don't like that has happened. So it's your actual costs are bigger than your budgeted. So you say, for example, I said you were going to spend 20,000 a week on wages and it ended up being 25,000. That's not good. So we call that adverse variance. So you'll have to investigate why were you so wrong with your figures. Now, they might ask you in the exam what could cause an adverse variance. It might be the oil prices went up, or it might be your raw materials. You know, you should be used to be using RM for more raw materials, or ended up to be higher than expected. Okay, this is another one that comes up a lot in the theory. Now, when I say the theory here, these could be in any of the theories for any of the budgets. The principal budget factor. So that's the factor that will restrict your output. I'll explain that in a second. Or it prevents you from expanding. Just say this room here is my factory. Now, if I want to make, say, 100 pairs of shoes today, I can make them in this factory, and that's the max that I can make in this room. If I wanted to make 150 pairs, I can't because I don't have the capacity, I don't have the size, my factory won't allow me. So therefore, what would prevent me might be the capacity of the plant. The plant is too small. So if I want to expand, I'm actually going to have to change the size of my plant. Might be sales demand. Maybe there's not demand for your product, or maybe there's a certain demand, but it's a steady demand and it's not growing. Maybe you can only get a certain amount of raw materials, so that's preventing you expanding. Maybe there's not enough specialised labour, and maybe you don't have money. So they'll ask you, what is the principal budget factor, and can you give maybe 3 examples of things that might be in the principal budget factor? Sales demand, raw materials, labour, the capacity of your plant, and capital. Okay, so just the 4 of them.